Good afternoon. Dylan Roof, white mass shooters, the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, all were treated better and with more dignity than Taylor Bracey. See, 2021 has been a year of revelation. What we saw at the U.S. Capitol was a master class on white privilege. But our young black children get an education daily, both in the classroom and outside of the classroom, that we live in two Americas. Two Americas where you were born, where your the pigmentation of your skin is viewed as a weapon. So much so that an unarmed 16-year-old girl was hooked by a white police officer and then swung to the ground and drove with all his force, knocking her unconscious. He didn't render any aid. The first thing he did was to put handcuffs on her as if she was cattle. So we have to ask ourselves, for a people that has been dealing with the pandemic of racism for over 400 plus years, when is enough enough? When we send our children during a pandemic to school to get an education, we didn't expect that their safety would be put in jeopardy by the same people that have sworn to serve and protect. And the reason that they can do this, because in this country, law enforcement officers are able to harass and brutalize black people with impunity. So, yes, Taylor Bracey suffered at the hands of law enforcement, but it's not law enforcement and law enforcement officers' responsibility solely alone for what the actions that he did. It's those of legislatures, it's those of people in Congress, it's those directly at the White House. What are you going to do to protect black people, more specifically black children, from being murdered, for being brutalized with impunity in this country? What we need right now is not poems.
No.
What we need right now is not singing along and singing hymns.
No.
What we need is for equal protection under the law. And what we need is to make sure that in this country, when you see an unarmed black woman or an unarmed black man or a black child being brutalized, it should resonate with each and every one of us, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender. This is a problem. And the solution starts with the people, but we need to start putting more pressure on these legislators who say they are here to represent us, but yet still we don't have the protections. Law enforcement are not above the law. What this officer did was was horrible. It was horrible. But how do we tell and look a young black child in the face and tell them that there's justice in this country when all they see on social media is their people being brutalized? So I'm calling on all legislators on the county, state, local, and federal level. It is your job in a public safety duty to make sure that we are protecting our children, because if we don't protect our children, we have failed as a society. We deserve equal protection under the law by any means necessary. Thank you.